real shows have intros, yeah?
I guess.
This is a real show.
Is it?
Well, it looks. I don't know.
I mean, it looks good on that.
Yeah.
Well, welcome everybody to the first of many. I was going to say fireside chats, but if there was a fire in here, we'd have to run.
Oh, H&S.
So we're going to talk a bit today about a few things, right? So we're going to talk about AI in marketing.
Yeah, let's do that.
It's obviously huge at the moment. I wrote a blog piece recently about it. Well, I wrote a few, and I was lucky enough to be asked to chair a panel there of marketing experts to talk about the.
And they invited you.
They invited me. I know. Right. It seemed to go pretty well, but all kind of having the same challenges, I guess, and struggles with adopting AI in their own businesses. And as they are the heads, I guess, of marketing within their businesses, or the marketing leaders within the business, it seems to have fallen with them, sometimes with their technology teams, to be the owner of the business embracing AI. So
let's go.
When I was chairing that panel end of last year,
Yep.
Overwhelmingly the attitude to the adoption of AI in the workplace, specifically for marketing, it was an attitude of people being keen, the marketers themselves being keen to use it. It makes I think we all know that it makes our jobs easier.
Yeah,
definitely doesn't replace us just yet, but we will dive into that. So we've got some hot takes on that. I'm sure you have too. So it was a really interesting one. As a small business, which is
we're small.
Technically what you are.
Yeah, very small.
How much of your daily operations now are backed by AI or driven by AI? Have you basically automated it? Because it's supposed to be highly beneficial to small businesses, right?
Yeah. So we've tried to automate it, like realistically, because the value add or the dream that every AI person wants you to sell you is that you wouldn't have to hire, let's say, an intern or a junior anymore because they can do that work. Mm-hmm. So I've tried to say, here's a client brief, or here's something we've got to execute on. Give me some advice. Some of the stuff, when it hits, is useful. So, for example, we had to write some copy for a website update. Client was too busy to provide anything, just the usual brief, and leave it to us. And so what we did is we gave that information to ChatGPT, or pick your platform of choice here, and it helped. But it's so corny and cliche. And then I've spent so much time on prompts and saying, write like your Ogilvy, or write like some of the great copywriters of all time. And even then, it's not there. And then for me as a small business, I'm looking at the classic time is money, right? So if I spent half an hour working on a prompt to get what I need, or if I just locked myself in a quiet room, put headphones in and brainstormed for 30 minutes, I would probably get a very similar, if not better result.
You see, this is some of the feedback from the panel as well. So similar findings. And yeah, I mean, you've already explained that it makes your job easier, but it seems top heavy. There's a lot of front loading.
I would love to be able to increase my inbound lead gen.
Yeah.
I would love to be able to churn out more ideas and more stuff more efficiently for clients. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
I just don't trust it yet. I see where the future is. I can see that in 3 to 5 years' time.
Really? You think that long?
Yeah, I think that long.
I think it's going to be more like within the year. It's still front-loaded, it's still top-heavy when you're building these new processes and using new tools, especially if you're trying to train teams, small, medium, otherwise, on using the tools in the right way. You mentioned earlier about you have to then, if you get an LLM or some AI app to write website copy, you're still going in to change the language or make it sound more like the tone of the business, all that sort of stuff, which we've done for years anyway in marketing. I find that I'm doing that. I've got a number of custom GPTs built now that are in different styles and different language types and different tone, but I still do have to. I'm yet to have spit one out that I can just go and publish. You're still constantly editing over it, but which is fine. I think if you remove that front-loading build development side out of the picture, once you've got those things set, it is massively reducing the time spent on those sorts of tasks. Even just from my
there is nothing more that I would love is to automate and refine some of the day-to-day stuff. So like the services page, or product descriptions for e-commerce,
case studies,
case studies,
case studies.
like That would be, I'm all for it, as long as it doesn't sound like it comes from a robot and it sounds like something I'm happy to put my name on.
Yeah, I think it's getting better in that
that's
in that
it.
perspective now. From that perspective now, but yeah, I'm still human editing over the top.
That's it.
Um,
But yeah, I would love to do the unit economics and say, all right, I invest an hour in ChatGPT. What's the output?
Yeah.
And I invest an hour in training an intern or a junior person to do a similar task. That would be a great episode to
well,
do.
there you go. There's your next project.
Yeah,
and you
cool.
can post
When does, let's just say CORSZA, when does CORSZA say we're an AI first agency?
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I mean that's an interesting question, because then you've got the sort of internal conflict of, is that going to come across negatively to potential clients or current clients, and they just think you're not really doing any work.
Yeah.
And then you've got the consideration of do they then pull all of that work in house because they think they can get it all done easily. I mean, there's arguments for and against, I think. I don't know, it's a difficult one to answer. What was the question again?
This is obviously New Year, so everyone likes to do the brand refresh and everyone likes to think of what the plans are. So I've clearly got some plans. My website does not look the same as it did a month ago.
Yeah, I mean, AI first agency. It's like we used to talk about mobile first, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. Exactly. Mobile first.
And I think that was good like this. That was good if you were dealing with people that understood what that meant and the importance of mobile first. Similarly now, if you're dealing with clients or potential clients that understand what AI first means and what it means for them and how it's in their benefit, then fine. But you don't want to shrink your potential market by just framing yourself as a purely AI first agency. I don't think, I could be completely wrong on that, and I'm sure there's about 1,000 of them already set up.
Yeah, but there's an argument to say, take $50,000, get an intern or get someone that's young, hip, like someone... hip. Oh man, I sound like a 40-year-old.
I think the test, if they're hip, should be if they use the word hip, then they're not hip. Let's
get someone fresh out of university that's switched on, that is growing up in this time. Take someone and go build the AI first. Doesn't have to even be an ad agency. Yeah. It could be like McKinsey or Deloitte. I'm very, very interested to see who's the first person to... Maybe they exist. Like, let us know, guys. Sure. If there's someone that says we're AI first before people, I'd love to talk to that person.
Yeah, agreed. One thing I was going to ask you, actually, given your background in SEO.
Yes.
And you and I worked on something quite recently.
Yep.
SEO has obviously changed quite dramatically. I read an article recently on the number of searches now performed within... Well, this was specifically ChatGPT and using browser plugins as well. So, and that's obviously, the first result now is an AI-generated response. How is that? Well, what are you seeing right now? How that's affecting SEO or more traditional SEO?
I think there's two things here. There's using AI to make content for SEO, and that's proven.
Yeah, I mean the other side.
But people bounce. So the problem is always the bounce, and so now, if ChatGPT becomes a search engine and you never leave ChatGPT,
that's the way it looks like it's going to with Google as well. Yeah. Is it Gemini? That's your engine. It's your single destination, your single platform.
That's tough because
this was an interesting debate.
Basically, you're just feeding the robots. It's like the Matrix. We're just in this little thing and just plugged in, and like
the robots to feed themselves.
OpenAI has to come to market with what we're going to do, or how businesses optimize and become relevant on the platform, just like Google. This is already a solved problem. Like Google's already solved the problem. So this is what you do. Obviously, there's other business objectives and everything that dilute and pollute the search results. However, OpenAI hasn't done anything, and then they have to decide what they're going to do. But as it stands right now, if you type in what's the best marketing platform, and it's just going to tell you HubSpot, Salesforce, and something else over and over again, then it's...
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to watch, right?
Yeah, and it's hard for business. It's the whole yellow pages again, where it's like AAA automotive agent, blah, 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 to get to the top.
It's one to watch. I mean, like we said at the top, it's a transformative force. It's here to stay. It's improving.
We just got to work on it. Like, there's no point getting on your soapbox and whinging and complaining. Just like head down. That's why I want to talk to people. I legitimately want to talk to people because we all have to figure this out together.
All right. Yeah. We do. It's one big happy family.
Yeah. Well, this is it. I have no friends. I sit in this studio
It's true.
and that's it. And not everyone wants to come. It took me like 3 days to get Neil here.
Right. Oh no, sorry, very busy now.
Yeah. Busy.
Okay,
Cool.
moving
So
on.
that's AI.
We'll do some more AI stuff because there's so much to talk about. But it
I
probably
want to meet people. Let's not. People don't want to hear us. Let's talk to experts.
maybe they do.
Maybe.
Yeah, I am.
You can
no
score
AI
us out of 10.
But,
You can score us out of
I
10.
kind of used it enough, and I've used it enough in recent roles and projects to know kind of a bit what I'm talking about. And you from a technical perspective certainly know how they work and what the opportunity is.
Yeah.
But it's going to be one to watch. So I think we should probably dedicate a whole episode to it. But yeah, definitely talk to people.
Let's get some people.
So moving on.